Another day in Wymark. It is October now. To start the month off, we're going to be doing a soybean harvest in the field next to the yard. With the combine all unfolded and the harvester head attached, it was time to start. To start off in this field, it was looking pretty good for yield. You could see some really good green sectors, but then this very not nice orange started popping up, and you'll watch that develop as we harvest. Once again, our friend Jimmy Sim joined us on the server and helped me unload on the move. With only a few more passes left on the field, it was looking like we'd definitely get over 30,000 liters of soybeans. Annoyingly, I unfolded early, leaving the combine with 1 liter in it. With Jimmy unloading the auger wagon, I packed up the combine ready to go back into the shed. I jumped into the semi and took it over to the grain leg to store the soybeans until they're a better price to sell. With the unexpected money we got from the collectible last episode, I decided to buy a lot of land. After spending a boatload of money, it was time to get busy, so I loaded up the seed tender with seed and fertilizer and headed over to the new property we purchased across the road from the main yard. My plan for this area is to place down the animal barns and the productions. I then sold off any unnecessary buildings and bought another piece of farmland. While I was at it, I purchased the soil information maps and got us a loan of $250,000 with 2 years to pay it off. The next job on the farm was to sow in some new crops, so I grabbed the air seeder and headed over to the field. It's the one we harvested last episode for the sorghum. Once at the field entrance, I painted in a new road, and Jimmy Sim was already over here spreading lime. I set the air seeder to barley, got set up, and started sowing in the crop. With about half the field left to go, we switched seats. I couldn't take all of the fun using the air seeder. I parked parked up the spreader at the edge of the field and then went to the store to purchase a new tractor and, well, what I thought was a good idea, weeder seeder thing that was only 9 meters. That was a silly mistake. But I did purchase this very useful John Deere ripper that we would use to extend fields as well as make new ones in the future. I then dropped off the new pieces of equipment at the fields that we purchased last episode. The end goal is to make silage and hay from this field for the cows. The next task I had was to roll in the barley. I jumped in the John Deere 8R and headed over to the field.
I'm so embarrassed watching you undress. Can't take my eyes off you.
Quite a while later, I was done with rolling mentally, so me and Jimmy switched jobs. I hopped in the 9RX and started ripping.
Summer is over, yet you're on my shoulder, counting the dandelions. I'm caught in heaven like 24/7, losing my grip of time with you.
If you don't want to see the tractor getting all scratched up, look away now. To save you from feeling a little bit queasy, I cut out all the parts where I turned around quite quickly. Also, maybe destroyed the ripper at times and definitely the hitch on the back of this tractor. Now that the field was all together and the size I wanted, it was back into the spreader to get the line down. With the tank emptied, I headed back to the farm to reload. Jimmy Sim reminded me that since I purchased the soil map before I did the plowing, I would have to buy it once again. Once back at the field, Jimmy Sim brought up the little weeder seeder thing I bought, reminding me that we have a massive air seeder that's direct drill, and we need to use that if we're going to put the crop in this field without plowing every single inch of it. Which seems like a pretty logical decision and would be a lot less painful. Moments later, I was back at the 9RX with the air seeder seeding in some grass, and Jimmy finished off the liming. I jumped out of the air seeder, giving up the seat, and started rolling the field. Back to the farm we go, ready to park this thing in the shed. I backed up the 8R to the cultivator, ready for the next job. Then I hopped in the 9RX and got it hooked up to the ripper once again. As we cleaned up the yard, we discussed getting rid of the tree line between fields 1 and 2 where we harvested the soybeans. So we rented a tree mulcher and got to work using the new Fendt tractor. This was definitely a two-man operation. Jimmy would cut down the trees and I would start mulching. I'd say it was going pretty good, but the Fendt was definitely underpowered for the mulcher. It was slow going. We were tired, but the fields were ready to be plowed together. Jimmy had the ripper all set up, ready to go. I parked the Fendt in the shed, then hopped in the 8R, but it was connected to the roller again. I guess Jimmy didn't think I would be using the cultivator, which in hindsight was the right decision, as our planter was direct drill. I didn't know that until now. Back at the fields, Jimmy was trying to straighten out the edge that they matched up. It was really starting to come together at this point, and very excited for the nice big new field we'd have. With the cultivating done, I headed over to the pressure washer. This thing was pretty dirty with all that lime. I parked up the cultivator and 8R, and that'd be it for October. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying the series.